Alright guys, yo, what's up? It's your boy Assassin Got You, and we are back at it again with another video of Final Fantasy 15. Um, doing something a little bit different. I'm going to do a side quest. And in this video, the side quests and just overall feel this video will be kind of a tribute to the producer and head lead of this entire operation for Final Fantasy 16, Yoshi P, which he is a fantastic Final Fantasy dev and producer and director. So we are going to go and do that. Okay, fast travel, perfect. Because I did not feel like driving. But also want to talk about a lot of things that's been going on with Final Fantasy 16. Mainly there's some worry going on about Square Enix not being very confident in the pre-order sales about Final Fantasy 16, and just a little bit of the hate.
We need to replenish our supply of curatives. Gotcha.
Crazy stuff that is going on with 16, and so just to be kind of a little bit frank, I didn't know you did.
I'm done. Yeah, broke a few bones in there.
Ready or not? Oh, love the lighting.
That's hilarious. But basically I want to talk about the factor that this whole issue with 16 in terms of like its combat, its story, you know, it's really annoying to say the least, but I can't even say that I understand some of the people's like criticism, because some of the criticisms are not even really valid. People complain it's not turn-based. People saying that Final Fantasy, basically saying Final Fantasy 16 is based, or just in general, Final Fantasy in general is just a turn-based game, which you know the genre in itself, you know, is very niche. It's not even that big, honestly, if you really think about it. And the only reason why people say that is because Final Fantasy made it popular to some degree. You know, there's been other there's been other turn-based games, honestly. Okay, what you about to do? Alright, nice. Appreciate that. Well, back to what I was saying, there's a lot of Final Fantasy games that didn't really do turn-based exactly. I mean, 10 kind of did more of a different type of turn-based. 12 I don't think was even close to being turn-based. It's kind of a little bit like how Dragon Quest kind of did theirs in a way, kind of moved to more of a action RPG, but kind of more of a kind of arena type of feel to it. And then, you know, we get the 13, and a lot of people don't know 13 was trying to be action RPG instead of turn-based, but due to the hardware, it couldn't do it, so it just went to turn-based. And then we get to this game, you know, which was basically the first Final Fantasy to have an open world concept, and really a lot of people praise this game for its combat. But you know, one of the main issues, you know, I've always had about this game was this open world concept. I feel like the open world is it's not necessarily vibrant, but it's just dull. There's not a lot going on. There's not a lot of crazy things going on. I get it where, you know, this game is trying to go for, but it just didn't really stick the landing. But then again, this game did go through development hell for like years, and you know, this is kind of how the product went. Now, mind you, I am playing the Royal Edition, and the Royal Edition does take care of a lot of stuff that the original 15 did like, you know, basically had issues with. And you know, regardless of if you love 15 or not, there are people who love 15. There's people who do not. And then, you know, there's people who like 7 Remake, and there's people who do not like 7 Remake. And one of the most biggest hypocrisies is people, stating that the combat is too DMC. You know, it's like, oh, it's like DMC 5, when in general it kind of really isn't. It doesn't even act like a it
Could
does
use a
play like a
break.
DMC game,
Wuss.
but it does have its moments where it
Everything I need
doesn't
now.
have that. For example, the icon abilities, the way how the RPG status works. We don't even know
Sounds like you're
fully
having fun.
if the game is going to be totally brain dead, because a lot of people deem that the game will be brain dead just off of just looking at the gameplay, which is not the case. For inference, DMC is not a brain dead game. You have to have serious muscle memory and reaction timing in that game. You also have to know and realize which weapons is going to do the most damage. For inference, in DMC, they have like six different weapons, six different like guns, six different melee weapons, but ultimately there are some who do more damage than most. In DMC 6, Dante has rocket launchers, easily his most powerful, if not his most devastating ranged weapons that he has on his arsenal. Then, if you want to go with melee, you can do the motorcycles, or you can do the boxing glove slash uh, you know, I don't even call them like devil arm type of leg armors that he had going on. I don't know the real name of the armaments that he had on, but you can have that, or there's plenty of others that he had in melee. Then you got his Dante's devil sword, which was in my opinion his most devastating um basically melee weapon. But a lot of people want to sit there and argue the fact that is so brain dead. But then with 16, I bet you there's going to be a thing called, basically, uh, weaknesses to people to certain elements, depending on what type of
Won't
enemy
keep
types
you in
we
the
are,
dark.
um, they are facing, and that's kind of the thing, we don't know what type of enemy types we are facing. We don't know what they're going to be weak to, if they're weak to any elements. We don't know if the elements or the icon abilities will give you something of an edge where they can completely devastate a type of enemy, or if they, just there to like, just do damage, but it's a cool move to look at. We don't know. We don't know. And there's been
So
plenty
how
of
about a
demos.
breather?
There's been plenty of people who have shown and proven that they have played the demo. And I know a lot of people have been worried about it because of, will it reach 60 FPS? Will it, you know, will it perform great? Is the story really, you know, is the story, not really shown a lot, because a lot of people were afraid that, 16 was being shown too much. A lot of people think Creative Business 3 was showing the game too much, like they spoiled the entire story, which was never the case. They only showed you snippets. Even Yoshi P said himself, Ben Starr, and a lot of other people. But Yoshi P said himself that, the trailers only scratch a little bit of the surface of what 16 has to offer. So, and then people want to freak out about the Liquid Flame boss battle, and then, half of y'all don't even know who Liquid Flame is. And that's another thing. The hypocrisy of people who defy themselves as Final Fantasy fans is abysmal. It's downright ludicrous. And I'm just like, yo, you know, if you're going to say that you're a fan of something, be about it, man. Don't sit there and just
Hey, who's
brush
up for a
stuff
bite?
under the rug when you literally don't know, your own game that you claim that you know, the series that you claim that you loved for so many years. Like you said that you're an old head, but you don't know who the heck Liquid Flame is. Look, man, the proof is in the pudding, man. We're right now. We are in June 3rd, bro, and we currently, we got like 2 more weeks, until the game comes out. So, I'm pretty sure they're gonna probably show some more tidbits and stuff like that. Maybe a little bit of a, maybe like a game trailer, where like it's like a hype trailer. Some people do that for like the TV spots and stuff like that. So we might get that. There might be some other stuff that's coming out for the game, But I know this for certain. I think the game is gonna go well. I think it's gonna make, good amount of money. I don't think it's gonna do Tears of the Kingdom level of money, but I know it's gonna make a good amount where Square Enix is gonna look and be like, okay, that was a good bet. Because I'm gonna be real with you, I really feel like they're banking on this game to do really well because maybe in the future they might go to this type of route of gaming where it might be more action RPG, more hack and slash. Who knows, And if there's an audience for it and they really appreciate it and the game turns out to be massively successful and do the same thing that 7 did where it brung in not only the old fans back but bring in new fans and have new fans who love the series and stuff like that, because that's what you want. You want people to enjoy your game. You want new generations to experience the game. Hopefully a new generation, this will be their first Final Fantasy. And a lot of people, it kind of really is their first Final Fantasy. There's a lot of people who are not Final Fantasy fans, and they are going to buy this game whether people like it or not. And such a small minority of you guys, whether you're Sony, Xbox, or Nintendo, or you just a guy that or a girl that or whatever you want to call yourself, you're those people that just want to sit there and nitpick and be so insulting about a game that hasn't even come out yet and you never even played, but you're trying to see with your eyes saying like, oh, I know exactly what's going on. It's like, no, you don't. You don't even know. None of us know what's going on. None of us even know what the story is, even telling. No offense, they've shown a lot of trailers, but still to this day, I don't know what the heck is going on. I don't even know who the main protagonist, no, not main protagonist, but I don't even know who the main villain is. I don't. You don't. I don't. Nobody does. So I would love if people would just stop. Stop with the hating, stop with the speculation, stop thinking like this game's gonna fail. But it's funny to me that how even certain Final Fantasy fans and content creators, want to call out this game saying that 16 is going to be trash, 16 is going to be a dumpster fire, 16, oh, it doesn't have enough black people, we gotta cancel the game, bro. And it's like, bro, y'all arguing about points that make no sense. It doesn't matter, bro. Would I love to have a black person in Final Fantasy? Yes, and I actually have. We have Barrett, Ash, and we have plenty of more. We had that guy in 13. And my thing is this, is that there's been POC characters. 14 has a lot of them. I mean, for crying out loud, if you want to get real crazy with it. But this is a guy we're talking about, Yoshi P, who's created the best MMO out there, who's given so much diversity, given so much lore. Literally, 14 is a tribute. It is a tribute game. It is a love letter to all Final Fantasy fans out there. And y'all want to sit there and slander this man's name because he took a different route in terms of Final Fantasy, but still kept the core value of what is Final Fantasy. And the funny thing is, the godfather of Final Fantasy himself told Yoshida that whoever is making a Final Fantasy game and whoever is like developing it and whatever you're doing with it, it's still a Final Fantasy game. Nothing changed. So for the content creators to be slandering this guy is crazy. And now I'm not talking about Night Sky Prince. I'm not talking about Final Fantasy Union. I'm not talking about Devil Will Never Cry. I'm not talking about Blitz. I'm not talking about Maximilian. I'm not even talking about, the more obscure ones that I currently am watching, but I don't know too much about. I'm not talking about any of them. I am talking about Kai, the player, though. I am talking about, Afterlife Gaming, and a few others that I can't really name on the top of my head. Those guys are the most negative dudes about a game that I've ever heard of, and it's saddening because I'm like, bro, don't y'all want this game to be successful? Don't y'all want this to be a progression, for the Final Fantasy brand? But no, they want the same old sloppy thing that they've been getting every single time, bro. Y'all want the same old dry stuff. Y'all don't want nothing new. And that's the problem. Every old head want the same old thing, but at some point, a long running series needs innovation. It needs to evolve. If it doesn't evolve, it will die. The same thing happened to Sonic. Sonic had to evolve. That's why we got Sonic Frontiers. If it didn't evolve, Sonic would have died, and Sonic would not have been that relevant. I'm so happy that Sonic Frontiers in some way was a success and actually garnered a lot of people's attention. And whether it was good or bad or in the middle, it still did what it needed to do, and I think it did a phenomenal job. That's why I went for Final Fantasy. I want Final Fantasy to look over the horizon. I want them to, look at the future and be like, hey, we can do different genres. And the funny thing is, people want to complain about DMC combat. The icon battles, the icon battles have different play styles. They even said that on the state of play in the Pack East. They've said that numerous times that each icon battle is going to be different. It's going to be a different genre of gaming. That's something that they got from Nier Automata, which is another Square Enix game. So I'm so confused. People want to sit there and complain about everything, but y'all complain about the wrong thing. Now, if the game does turn out to be a flop and it doesn't do well, then yeah, you have every right to trash that game, and you have every right to be upset and be mad. But at the same time, if the product hasn't even come out yet, shut up. Because you're just wasting your breath. It doesn't make any sense. Now, y'all may call me like, oh, Yoshida, a fanboy or something like that, but at the end of the day, Yoshida is one of those developers that didn't hide anything from anybody. He told the truth. He was being honest. He didn't sugarcoat nothing, and he spoke his mind. And firstly, for me, I like a dev that, doesn't hold anything back. I like a dev who is confident about his work. I like a dev who showcases his work and doesn't, stray or try to hide or try to maneuver and try to do some slick stuff where, he showcases you something, but it's really not the final thing. That's the same thing that happened to Redfall. Redfall, they showcased something totally different, even though the game was already kind of unfinished. Redfall was just still in a travesty. And then to the Xbox One, excuse me, y'all praise Starfield. And Starfield's nothing innovating. It's nothing new. It's the same generic thing. It looks like a Destiny clone, bro. But y'all want to say like, oh, Starfield's going to be innovating. Starfield's going to be better than Spider-Man and Final Fantasy 16 or Tears of the Kingdom. Bro, no, it's not, bro. Xbox, y'all waved the white flag when Phil said he was done trying to compete with Sony and Nintendo, bro. And the funny thing is, bro, whether Final Fantasy 16 innovates gaming or not is not really up to the question, because no offense, I don't think it will innovate gaming. I think it will evolve the brand of Final Fantasy, but I don't think it will innovate anything of gaming wise, in terms of the whole spectrum. That's something that Tears of the Kingdom is doing, and I think it's doing an excellent job. I just bought it today, and even at times that game does frustrate me because you gotta think in that game. It's really hard at some points. You kind of like question yourself a little bit, like like, oh, what in the world am I doing in this game? But it's a fun game and it does its job. It knows what it wants to be, and that's the thing about Final Fantasy 16. It knows what it wants to be. It knows its vision. It knows where it's headed, and that's I couldn't ask anything more. Personally, for me, it's probably going to be my game of the year. Now that's still up to left the question, because I am playing Tears of the Kingdom, and I once I finish that game and basically come to conclusion and review of that game, then I'm probably make my final decision. And even still, I have to I gotta go play Spider-Man 2, excuse me, and see how that game is, and even though people complain about water, but they live in New York, which is so stupid to me. They're like, oh, the water graphics aren't right. It's like, bro, it's an older build, and mind you, we're talking about water in New York. Water in New York is disgusting. I'm sorry to all my NYC people, but the ocean, the lakes, all that, disgusting. But let's go ahead and do this.
Yikes! That is the most humongous chocobo I've ever seen.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
off me!
You okay? Considering you're underneath a giant bird.
It appears to have found a new nesting spot.
Usually, I can entice it into moving with a treat.
Right, chocobo feet. Okay, hold on. Got beef with my greens?
He's a pretty picky eater. He only eats the very best veggies.
Sounds like somebody I know.
That's so.
Nah, Noct wouldn't eat his veggies if they were the last food on Eos.
All right, perhaps we should pop by the post. Wiz might have some good food for sale.
Great. Now I'm gonna smell like Chocobo too.
That was a big chocobo. Also, didn't even notice. This is like a Final Fantasy 14 like NPC character. It's one of the cat ladies. Really interesting. That's another thing I would like to say
Never knew
about
chocobos
16.
could grow up to be such big birds. It is quite curious, given that chocobos are known for their high metabolism.
Those lucky cluckers.
No, body issues aside, this is kind of a pressing matter. So why don't we give the young lady a hand?
It could crash right here.
But yeah, another thing I wanted to talk about was Yoshi P criticizing this game. Now, I'm not
I swear,
really
half
going
your photos are
to
selfies.
basically
Hashtag
say
sorry,
that
not sorry.
what Yoshi P
Yo.
Hi.
basically stated was correct, because he was actually valid and most of his stuff was correct. But at the same time, you know, this game had a lot of issues, but it went through a lot of issues in terms of development. But that being said, I do agree with Yoshi P's matter upon DLC. And this is my matter when it comes to DLC. DLC are expansions, you know, in terms of content to expand on like the main story and the gist of it having a different whether it's a different viewpoint or kind of just like, you know, expanding upon the story even further. But the problem with 15 is that it
Hey,
literally
yes. Hi.
expands on basically the events of what happened in the base game with Prompto, Ignis, and Gladio. And I'm not saying that I'm against that, but at the same time, those 3 DLCs could have been in the main game. And, you know, maybe the reason they cut it off was probably because of runtime, but at the same time, we have people that play Dark Souls, Elden Ring, Bloodborne, and they put in like at least 100, 200, 300 hours in these games. And that's a long time. So, you know, having DLC packs, rather than having DLC packs, you know, you could just put those DLCs in the game. Now, the one DLC I probably give a pass for is maybe the Arden DLC. And the reason why I say that is because Arden, you know, the beauty of him being mysterious is kind of one of the main things I love about his character, but also hate about him. But, you know, he does a great job. Excuse me. I'm a little bit tired today. He does a great job of how he, you know, basically handles things. And I think, you know, regardless of how people feel about, you know, Arden as a character and as a whole, I think you know, Arden in the main story does he does a great job. You know, I don't think there's really
No mistake in the smell of chocobos.
I don't think there's really much, you know, really left of Arden after, you know, when you get to the final, you know, reaches of the game. But, you know, I do appreciate his DLC. And,
so where's the
you
guy
know,
supposed to find fat chocobo
another
feed?
thing is the
Let's ask the
multiplayer
shop clerk.
aspect. You know,
We're one of the
one thing
breeders.
I do love is the fact that there is no real multiplayer aspect. I'm not against multiplayer. I love multiplayer games, but Comrades for 15 was just not really hitting it for me. And maybe it's because I wasn't playing with anybody else, but still, it just threw a lot of things off. And regardless of how you feel about that, you know, that's kind of your opinion, but personally for me, I'm glad that 16 is going to be a full package. It doesn't require no DLC. There is an end in the beginning. Now, if the game is successful, they will consider doing DLC, but I'm pretty sure it's not gonna be something like how 15 did it, which is one of the things that Yoshi P was trying to avoid. You know, one of the concepts of why he didn't want to do open
What
world.
are you after this time?
So that being said,
Come again.
I do truly respect Yoshi P. I think he is gonna knock it out of the park with this game. I think this game is gonna be phenomenal. So
Boy, I'd love to own me a chocobo.
I've already pre-ordered the game, and it's in my system. I'm just waiting for June 22nd.
Howdy. What can I do you for? Thanks.
What am I
Come
looking
back
for?
soon. Howdy. Got lots of good stuff in stock. Thank you kindly.
Welcome to the Chocobo Post. Pleasure doing business with you.
Finally made it.
Howdy. What can I do you for?
Trying to figure this out, man. It said greens. I don't see greens. Oh, there it is. Wow. I'm crazy. All right.
Thanks. Come back soon.
These look positively grand.
Yeah, so leafy. I better love it. And the little lady'll be saved.
Speaking of, she looked a bit peculiar. Those pointed ears certainly piqued my curiosity.
Didn't notice.
Well, you can have a good look when we go and give her these greens.
Listen, Noct. I have got this insatiable urge to take a photo with the chocobo. Can we go? Like right now? Maybe not right now. Oh, fine. But promise we can go later.
We've reached a creature crossing.
Wow. Where do you think they're all going?
We could always follow them and find out.
Man, Man, I love Final Fantasy. I just love Final Fantasy music in general. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. I can't wait to listen to Final Fantasy 16's music. I'm thinking about buying the CDs.
Hey, who's up for a bite?
There we go. We are here. Let's go over.
We brought you some high-quality greens.
Just set them down over there. Take it easy up there, will ya? Thank goodness. Oh, thanks so much. You're lifesavers.
Don't sweat it. After all, helping people's what hunters do best.
Whoa now. Easy there, tough guy.
Hunters?
You know, people who slay wild beasts and stuff.
Oh, so you're like adventurers. I'm Yajime of the Y Tribe.
The what tribe?
So glad I ran into you. I have the perfect quest for you adventurers. You know that big walled area nearby? Something terrible is about to happen inside.
You mean the Imperial base? What are they plotting within?
They're preparing to perform a divine summoning. They're going to summon a god.
Right.
As opposed to...
I believe the name speaks for itself.
And you're not freaking out? If that wicked primal shows up here, this world will be in big trouble, you know? You don't want that to happen, do you? You have to help me, please.
Okay, jeez.
Oh, great. Here, take this link pearl. We can use it to keep in touch with each other.
Slow down a sec.
Alright. Sorry about that,
Let's
guys.
be sure to meet up again a little later. All right, adventurers. See you soon.
Hey, wait up!
She's out.
Guess she wasn't listening. We couldn't even get a word in edgewise. Does this mean we're locked into helping her?
And going on an adventure? Given the Empire's penchant for demonizing the divine, I'm afraid we can't stand to let this go.
So what? We just follow her straight into the belly of the beast?
Well, my friends, doesn't sound like we have much of a choice.
I wonder if there's like an actual character in 14. I never had the chance of playing 14 MMO. I really wanted to, but I never did. For some odd reason, every time I tried, I could never get into the servers. It wasn't that I wasn't in queue, it was something dealing with like my code, and just couldn't get in.
Dreary
Sucked.
day. Yeah.
It really sucked.
I'm going on ahead!
It really hurt too. Alright, let me see. Where is this at? Okay, we're right here. Oh, I see. I see where I'm supposed to be at.
Where's the damn sun?
Magitech engine. It's close.
Bruh.
guys.
Ready!
Ignis! Oh!
Bruh. Quiet was just staying there.
That was a close one.
Wow, you didn't do nothing.
I'm comfortable just being alive.
Didn't do nothing. Alright, check this.
You gonna get that?
How am I supposed to get it? Like, this?
Oh, hi there. It's me. Ichime. Can you hear me okay?
Loud and clear.
Oh, perfect. Now we can talk to each other anytime.
Bruh.
Okay, listen, first... Never mind. Where are you?
Inside the walls. I found a place where I can see what they're up to.
You're already inside? Look, we're on our
Yeah,
way.
she's fast.
Just stay put.
All right. Be careful, adventurers. The voids then come out at night, and you most certainly want to steer clear of them, so you'd better act while the sun is up. See you soon.
Can do this. Thank God I got the ultimate blade.
It's quiet. Too quiet.
After the Empire withdrew its troops, this base remained completely barren until now.
Jimmy? Where are you?
Hey, hey! Can you see me? Up here! There's something I want to show you. Do you think you can possibly make it over this way?
On my way. Stay right where you are. She's got something to show us. I'll go.
By yourself?
Yeah, it's faster that way. And who knows what she'll do if we take too long.
Good point. We'll stay here and take care of whatever comes our way.
Oh.
Yes, that's it! You can climb up around there and make your way over.
Got it.
I mean, okay. I can literally warp there, but okay. And Noctis doesn't have the best, like, hops, so... My goodness. I know what to do. Okay, maybe not. Maybe I don't know what to do. Maybe I do need instructions. Oh my god. What the? Yo, there's a cat. Hold on, I gotta talk to the cat. Hi. Hi. Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Keep going. You'll be able to see it pretty soon.
This better be worth it.
A lot of frogs, man.
You made it! I'd expect nothing less from an expert adventurer.
Right. So,
She has
what was
to be
it
the
you
main
wanted to show
character
me?
in 14.
What the
Or
hell's
like
up
a
with those ears and that
important PC.
tail?
First, what I wanted to show you. Here. Why don't you use this telescope and see for yourself?
I don't know where I'm supposed to look.
Do you see that huge machine and that strange-looking ritual going on?
Let me see.
Okay. I don't know if this machine she is talking about. I see this. I see the ritual.
What are those spheres moving around down there?
They're moving now? That's funny. I'm pretty sure they were stationary when I escaped from this place.
Huh. What kind of machine is that?
I believe it's this world's version of a teleporter. I found myself right next to it when I came to, so it may have brought me here.
What do you mean, this world?
You know, your world. The one we're in right now. That device must have linked up with one of the ancient Allegan teleporters I found back home. I racked my brain, and that's the only theory I could come up with.
Sure. Sounds like something straight out of a video game.
Oh, and as for my ears and tail, have you really never seen a Makote before?
You mean they're real?
Very real.
Hey, it's that chocobo.
Oh no! What's he doing here? He's my partner, you know? I can't really look after him properly while I'm in the middle of my research, so I let him eat whatever he wants, which happens to be quite a lot.
No wonder he's fat.
What's with that statue over there?
You mean you haven't come across one in your adventures? I can sense the ethereal power of the winds flowing through that statue. I suspect it has something to do with the divine summoning of Garuda.
Well then, I guess we'd better go check it out. We ought to be able to get to the ritual area through that door.
Yes, but I'm pretty sure it's locked now. I think they locked it after I escaped, so nobody could interfere with the summoning.
Sounds like they're really devoted to their cause.
I'm missing something else. Somebody please tell me. Oh my gosh. I don't know what else I'm missing. It won't let me go any further.
Looks like the Empire knows my weakness.
Oh, are you admiring that big black Upkalu over there? Isn't he the cutest thing?
Oh, I just want to take him home with me.
No, and let me say from experience, you do not want to get near that thing. What are those things? And what are they doing?
They're Ixali Beastmen. They're getting ready to perform the divine summoning. It's a secret ritual that calls forth Garuda, Lady of the Vortex, chosen primal of the Ixal.
Right, I get it. Just like forging a covenant. And what happens if this Garuda shows up anyway?
Well, the gods manifest themselves by drawing energy from the land. And this particular god is supposed to be really vicious.
Uh-huh, which means lots of destruction. Well, guess we better do something then.
Exactly. I know it's a dangerous endeavor, but you adventurers have to stop the ritual before it's too late.
Regroup with the others. Alright.
Well, that should about cover it. Probably can't get into the ritual area just yet. Maybe we better start by checking out that statue.
Sounds good. And I'll go with you this time.
That's quite a story you brought back down with you. No wonder you took so long.
I'm kind of jealous. Sounds just like a video game.
But we mustn't treat it like one. Still, we've seen our fair share of fantastical happenings, so we can't write it off outright.
Yeah, Yujime seems genuinely worried about the whole thing. Least we can do is go check it out.
Oh, thank you. You adventurers are the best.
Watch out, Yujime!
I'll distract him. You guys take him out.
Yeah, it's
Let me give the order.
Try this on design.
Attack!
Let me know.
That smell.
I just so happen to know a little bit about you. Leave the healing to me.
Get lost! You can't do that.
Gladio!
I did it!
Nice work, Gladio!
Dang.
Where'd you learn that one, Noct?
One shot!
These jokers are exploding. What the freak?
Eyes forward.
Oh, sorry about that.
Don't go dying on me now. You're mine.
No walk in the park.
That's wild.
That takes care of that.
Tell me, what sort of magic were you using?
Just a simple curative spell. I'm only a novice.
No way! You're out of this world! Literally.
You sure saved our skins. Just don't forget to save your own, too.
Alright, let's examine this.
So, is this that statue you talked about?
Not simply any statue, it's an artistic interpretation of the emissary of the winds. One of the messengers.
A friend of Gentiana's?
She never said anything about him.
Well, it's not surprising. Likely because the only tomes that mention it are of dubious origin. Her name has been lost to the ages. No one's sure it ever existed at all.
The Empire seems pretty sure. I mean, check out all this equipment. They're doing some serious research.
I'd like to inspect it as well. There's something unusual about it. A strange power slumbering within.
Who cares about some forgotten chunk of Imperial rock? I think we've got more important business on our hands.
Indeed, the Ixal. Considering the way those sentries attacked earlier, I'd say the Beastmen have begun using the base as their own.
Then I say we let sleeping statues lie and go kick some Beastman butt.
All right.
I like how they changed the compass.
Check it out!
Meteor shards? The Ixali beastmen must be using them.
So, do you think we're gonna have to throw down with those Ixal?
Depends on what kind of reception we get.
Jimmy, didn't you say they almost captured you?
Yes, I was so scared.
Oh, guys, it's Kenny!
What's that next to him?
It's a paisa. I wonder what it's doing here.
Oh my gosh.
Healing for you. Visit. Here it comes. Healing for you.
None the worse for wear.
What the heck?
They come featherless nukers have! To our goddess this new land belongs! To Garuda! Interfere with her summoning, featherless ones must not! Must not!
They're always looking for a fight.
Hey, we knew it was coming. No point complaining now.
I'll keep you healed. You just focus on fighting.
Oh, wait a minute. I like the music in this. Okay.
I did it!
No one hit him!
My hero! I'll cover!
Peachy. Thanks for the healing.
I must say, the Ixali beastmen seem all but hell-bent on seeing their so-called divine summoning to completion.
Well, we'd better hurry then. I don't think we'd stand much of a chance against the Lady of the Vortex.
Gotta find a way in first. They should be just beyond that wall.